Okay, so color correction. I have some footage here. This is a 4K image. That is the result that came out of the camera. Often you will try to shoot it, let's call it flat, where there's not a whole lot of there's less contrast than you're used to, and then you will apply the contrast in the grading or color correction process. So this is then a graded version. It's a slightly different size, so that's why it pops. So I'll just make a composition here with just this image, as you can see, and I'll just add the reference image underneath. So I can turn this off, and I will just fit this in the comp view. Yeah. So you can see that this is the difference. This looks a lot colder, and this is a little hotter and perhaps a little or warmer. Let's use that word. Okay, for color correction, there's quite a few tools, as you can see here. So there's the usual levels and contrast, etc., that you know from Photoshop, and then a few other things, for instance color link, that will enable you to match colors from one sequence to another, etc. Then if your After Effects is installed correctly, there's also this thing, synthetic aperture color finesse, which is more or less a full color grading suite built into After Effects. But generally, when you do color grading, the first thing you look at is your blacks and your whites. So it's essentially how to grade, how to make levels. So if I just go and choose levels, and we look at this, and then you can see if I pull this one, it will make the dark areas darker. So already just doing this gives the image a lot more contrast and makes it more appealing. If we do the other end, we just tend to like burn out the white areas. So it's a question of making sure that you have your whites and your blacks. So perhaps this should be around here. So you can see before and after, and the image looks much more interesting just after doing this levels adjustments. You can also use auto, but there's a lot of people that don't like the auto. You can see here it creates a much colder look, so it's then you need to color correct it anyway. So depending on what you want, you can use either of the two. Let's just go and grab a couple of different ones. I have quite a few different versions here. So I will choose two that are similar but different. For instance, these two here. Yeah. Pull those in. Okay. Just try again. Go gadget. There we go. So if I create a new composition with these two in it, there, and there. So as you can see, these are actually different size. That was I was not aware of that. let's just see. Yeah, but you can see they're quite different. So generally, if you have a video you want, or film, you want the grading process to make sure that the footage looks the same for the whole film, so that it doesn't break continuity, and then you will want to grade it according to what the emotion should be at the different parts of the film. The obvious thing is nighttime should be bluish, colder, daytime should be warmer, and perhaps even based on if there's supposed to be like a scary time in the film, that could get a greenish color because that is like a sickening color, things like that. So in this case, what I want to do is make these more like the part of the same piece. So in this case it will be the lower layer here. I'll apply some correction to it. So you can see that it's more in the bluish area, probably a little bit more contrasty. And this is something that you have to work with to get the feel for how to do things like this. So yeah, so let's see. The color is not too bad now, and then perhaps add levels to this. Could be levels individual color. I'll just do general levels at the moment, and then what I want it to be is more contrasty, so this should be there, this should be there. You can see it starts to match up a little better, and then perhaps a gamma corrector to darken it up a little bit. Maybe so. Need more red. Oh, sorry. Oops. There we go. And then turn down the green a little bit. And perhaps the blue as well. So we need more yellow, so the green should be slightly stronger still. Yep, not too bad. Perhaps use exposure, so this can do the gamma correction if you like. You also change the exposure of the whole frame. So you can work your way through this. This should be more blue. So let's see, color offset. And you can play with this for a long time. So we want it more bluish here, so I want more, just a little bit, perhaps a little bit of green, something like that. So it's not too bad. And you can also use curves and etc. You can really knock yourself out with this. Okay, the other thing I want to look at was this thing here, and then I'm going to open up the synthetic aperture. So I'll apply that to the original reference. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, that was the wrong one. Just apply it to the front layer here. So this is just the levels has been. This is color finesse. So if you open this, you have like the small interface where you can change colors for master, shadows, midtones, and highlights. So you can make this a little more blue-red, or you can change the shadows to be more blue and the highlights to be more red. And then we have curves here, so you can like sharpen it up, so. So you can work in this minimized interface, or you can click the full interface. That'll take a second. And you get this. So you can see the graph here for the different colors. And you can see here that there's this is actually image going across, so you can see that this is the area here where there's some highlight areas and things like that. And this is, it takes a bit of exercising to get this get the full use of this color grade. But you can change the saturation, or you can lower the saturation. This becomes like a very much warmer image, and this becomes a colder image, right? And we can also push the hue, so this looks like almost like matrix, more sick area. So let's just turn this to close to 0. Vibrance is a sort of a saturation that does not go crazy. So you can see this can go over the top, whereas vibrance sort of is more controllable. Contrast, and where the contrast center should be. Correction. So you can see we can create something that looks almost like a nighttime look, or it can be a sunny day, depending on how we change the color. Okay, just go okay, and then all of that settings is baked into this minimized interface. So that is a place where we can use the color settings as well. And again, I mean, if you want to create something that looks like a nighttime, make this more blue. Perhaps lower the general lightness, the brightness of the scene. Perhaps use gamma to do that, so that you still have the hot highlights from, say, the moon or something like that, but this looks like much more of a nighttime scenery. And if you want something that is a day, of course you want this, if it's a hot summer day, you want this to be in this area instead. Perhaps a little less saturation, so that there's big white areas, because there's so much light. So something like this is a good way of working. But again, I mean, there's so many tools here that you should really experiment with them, depending on what you want. Another thing is the photo filter, which is also nice. Let's just get this collapsed. And the photo filter, you could do a warming or cooling, or you can make it more orange, sepia colors, etc. So it has all these presets where you can go in and set it to custom, and then you can change the coloring yourself. So make it more purple, right? Depending on what you would like. So that's also nice. And there's a vibrance and there's a tritone if you want to push your whole thing into like this black and white feel, but with a toning towards like old film look. You can do it like this, and you can still blend it with the original, so that it does get that feel, but without removing all the colors. So there's a lot of tools to do this. So I would suggest that you experiment with it, and it's very much a question of getting your own workflow. But generally, what people will start out with is to get the blacks and the whites, because when that is in place, then you got like the foundation, and then you can play with the gamma to push like the midpoint where you want it in either way, and then you can start doing your color correction, typically in the master, shadow, midtones and highlights area. So yeah, that's it for this video.